Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Last Time Stylosis. So we've been given a little bit more information about Overwatch and what actually the game involves. So I want to go over this and kind of just put it all together in a nice little handy video for you guys to watch. So it's based around 6v6 team play. Now as far as we've been told so far, that is it. Like every map, every game mode will be 6v6, okay? So all of the game modes are objective driven, okay? So there's a payload style game mode, which is exactly like Team Fortress 2 payload, where you protect the payload and it moves around the map. You've got to get it from your start to the enemy's like end point to kind of win that, or or if the roles reverse. There are capture point games and stuff like that, but interestingly there is no deathmatch. Okay, there is no deathmatch in this game. There are also hybrid maps as well. So the map may begin, let's say, as a attack and defend map, so you need to attack the enemy's base and they need to defend. If you manage to attack their base successfully, then the map will convert into a objective based map, let's say like a payload map, where you have to protect. And one example they give is of an EMP being moved through the streets of London, and it has to go and EMP the underground base and all that stuff. So that's kind of interesting. You've got this like hybrid kind of game modes coming together. Also as well, interestingly, the game is not about kills. It's an FPS game that's not about kills. Apparently, it's been designed to promote team play, okay? So this goes as well into the thing of it's not a nasty shooter. It's designed to be fun. But the main thing is, and now this is a Blizzard game as well, guys, so we have to understand this. Blizzard is pretty good at bringing people into a genre that they wouldn't otherwise go into. So look at WoW for MMOs and stuff. They actually want Overwatch to appeal to people who are not necessarily FPS players. And the way they do that is through the way the heroes play. But I'll get onto that in a moment. So the game is obviously focused on heroes. Now, in the previous video I made, I spoke about classes as such. Now, Blizzard have gone on to clarify, it's not classes. There are heroes and there are types of heroes. So you get a certain hero, maybe an offensive hero, so they go on the attack, high damage, high movement speed. You may have a defensive hero who is kind of, obviously, defensive in whatever manner that may be. Again, I'll get onto this in a jiffy. But it's interesting that they've gone down that route, but it's not entirely unexpected because, like I said, it's Blizzard. They do like to open the doors for everybody. So the way heroes work is pretty interesting. So we've got a look at the hero here, and she is pretty fancy. So heroes, they've got like a ton of, well, not a ton of abilities. They've got simple abilities which can be used fairly nice together. They're kind of like they're designed to complement each other. So as you can see, she has a blink, okay? So this is like a small teleport. She can actually choose to teleport 3 times really quick for a sort of a longer distance teleport, or she can just use one of the teleport charges to teleport once and then let it recharge maybe and then teleport again. That's pretty good. She also has an ability where she can recall. Now what that does is that sort of moves her back in time to where she was a few seconds before, but also with the same health she had before. So this means you could run into an area, start attacking, recall out of it, and come away with sort of full health, almost like you've got, I guess, a free heal to some extent, and then you could carry on with whatever you're doing. Very high mobility. But she's also got an ultimate ability, which every class has a big super ultimate ability, which they charge up by doing damage and taking damage and all of that. But in her case, she has a bomb. The fusion bomb, I believe it's called. Now, this is like a sticky bomb that causes a lot of damage in a small area. So it's very good for taking out things like turrets and maybe big tanky classes and stuff. But use turrets as an example and look at her abilities. Now they would work in concert together. So she would blink in really quick. She would use her ultimate, drop the sticky bomb, and then recall back to where she was before she blinked in. So she's completely out of the fight, and the turret, or whatever the hell she stuck the bomb to, explodes. That is like really, really good. Like that, if they've done that for every class, that is pretty damn good, guys. You know, I'm like, well, every hero even. That's some that's going to make for some interesting games. Now, they've also said the game is less lethal. So this means you don't die as often. Now, to anybody who moves around in FPS circles, this means a high TTK. Now, I actually spoke about this on the Call of Duty video I made recently, where I praised Call of Duty for having a higher TTK, which is time to kill. So it means firefights last longer because of the exosuit gives you more movement. Now, Overwatch is a really extreme version of that, and from the show match I've seen, it looks to me like it's a really high time to kill. This is complemented by things like your movement. Okay, you've got fast heroes, it's hard to hit them. Heroes with massive health, heroes with defensive abilities, or even heroes who've got heals so they can kind of bring you back. Or heroes who can resurrect you if you're dead, so you come back into the fight anyway. So the fights look really interesting because it's not just a quick battle, you know, like use one extreme of Counter-Strike, one shot, one kill in the head, you're gone, you've been AWP'd or whatever, you're dead. It's not like that. It's more of like a brawl which takes place and allows you to be a little bit more strategic, and it's not completely focused on getting that crosshair onto the enemy, so it's not super Twitch focused, which I guess you could say is a positive and a negative, but we'll see how that works out. That's kind of complemented as well by abilities which do not require you to aim on. So this notion of it not being completely Twitch based. Some abilities are, let's say you use, I forget her name, but she's like, she's got like a rocket pack. She flies up into the air and she like decimates the target below with a load of rockets, like a big AoE damage. Now that's not necessarily aimed as such. I mean, okay, you have to select the area you use it on, but you're not actually aiming it. It's sort of like a fire and forget thing. Kind of like Mercy, who's the healer. She's got like a healing bio agent gun thing, which is just like the Team Fortress 2 medic gun. Locks onto people. So that doesn't really require massive Twitch aim, which, you know, again, is pretty interesting. So hero types. Every single hero is different, okay? But they fit into certain specific roles. But every hero can kind of do these roles with maybe some exceptions in support. So the types we've got are offense. So these are your fast-moving characters, your kind of disruptive, harassing characters, people with fast movement, people with abilities to get around the map quick, and stuff like that. Defense is you guys either with really powerful defensive abilities, or they can build turrets, for example. Think the Team Fortress 2 engineer and stuff like that. Tanks, these are the guys who go in and lead the charge. So they've got massive health. They'll have abilities like shields and stuff, where they can... Winston is like the big chimp ape guy, can drop a dome shield, which is static. The other guy, whose name I can't pronounce, but he's like I think he's German. He might actually be Nordic, I'm not sure. But he's got a shield that's like a frontal arc in front of him, wherever he's facing. But that stays with him, so that's pretty fancy, I guess. A bit different than the dome shield. But those characters are designed to go into the fight to take damage, but to cause problems, you know, to smash people up, to push people away from the fight. Again, pretty interesting. If I'm honest, that's the kind of thing which really does appeal to me. This is kind of a loose comparison, but Warhammer Online had that kind of thing with its PvP, where the tank could block people and could also like taunt people to attack them. It was pretty good. Shame Warhammer Online collapsed, but there you go. And the last type of heroes we've got are support. Now, these are they either heal or one of the supports can actually build a teleporter and do other things like place little turrets around and do stuff like that. So the teleporter is obviously a support mechanic because it allows you to move really quick in and out of the fight. So if you die, you can get back to the fight much faster if your teleporter hasn't been destroyed and it's been built. So they did say, Blizzard, that the support class... Oh, well, the supporter heroes have been designed to bring people into the game who wouldn't necessarily play a shooter. So again, that's going back to the thing of Blizzard wanting to be, you know, draw people into a genre that necessarily they wouldn't play. And apart from that, we've been given a bit of information on the game modes and stuff, but I kind of went over that. A thing which I'm not entirely happy with, because I'm not sure the game needs it, is story. Now, Chris Metzen was going on a lot about story and story and story and story. Now, you've seen the gameplay footage in the background of this clip, guys. Where do you need story in that? It's just like, it's a team shooter. It's like, why do we need story? But it's Blizzard, and, you know, they're obsessed with story and yada, yada, yada. So they want to put story into the game, but the way they're going to do this is not in the game. It's going to be external, but based on the game. So it's going to be things like, I would imagine, YouTube videos. I would imagine their website would be updated. I'm kind of getting flashbacks to the terrible Destiny system of those stupid cards which nobody ever read, which it kind of just seems a bit pointless. Like, I don't know why Blizzard are going down that route, but it's Blizzard. They like to do story and stuff like that, so, you know, whatever, let them get on with that. We also know as well that it's currently 12 heroes, but they did say there will be more, so that'll be interesting to look out for, see what they come up with. So yeah, that is what we know so far about Overwatch. Now, I'm pretty sure more information will come out in the next few days, but again, I wanted to put this video together just to say to you guys, or to show you guys what the hell the game is about and more information that they're throwing out. We still don't know if it's free to play, but I would be very surprised if it's not free to play at this point, because it's going into an area where there's a lot of games that are free to play. And obviously Blizzard's recent trend of free to play games does make sense that they would kind of go down the free to play route. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this game goes. Based off the show match I've seen, I was really interested. Like, it looked really impressive. I don't want to hate on Kiri, and if he watches this video, he might be a little bit pissed. So Kiri's the other guy on Unit Lost. He is not the best Twitch shooter, but he's quite tactical. So it would suit him to play as a support class. And he would quite happily be the healer. He likes to be the healer in MMOs. Whereas me, I like to go in there and just smash people up. I'm also pretty good at FPS games, so I don't mind the Twitch aspect. So I could play more of an offensive, maybe sniper-based class or something like that as well. But there you go, guys. So this is all we know so far about Overwatch. If you want to if you want to see more videos on Overwatch, then let me know in the comments below. I'm going to do my best to kind of throw videos out every now and again on the game, because it does look interesting. And I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm not going to lie, I am looking forward to it. At first, I was a little bit skeptical, like, what the hell is this, Blizzard? But then, as I've watched a little bit more and I've got hold of more information, it's looking pretty good. At least to me, anyway. Anyway, guys, we'll see how this develops. So, I've been I've been Starlo, so what the hell. It's getting late for me, guys, so that's why I'm making those mistakes or whatever. If you like the video, then like the video. Subscribe to the channel and all of that jazz. And stay tuned for more Overwatch content. If that is your... Well, if that's what you want to see. Toodaloo, ladies and gentlemen. Toodaloo.